Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are performing an autopsy. Specifically, we're doing a full postmortem on that brief, just wildly chaotic era we all used to call vibe coding. But more importantly, we're handing you a survival guide for the reality that has completely replaced it, the demanding, highly structured world of 2026 agentic engineering. Listen, if you want to build software today, the rules have fundamentally changed. Relying on pure vibes? Yeah, that's absolutely going to leave you with a completely broken code base.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Back in February 2025, OpenAI founding member Andrej Karpathy coined a term that really defined the era. He said, and I quote, "There's a new kind of coding I call vibe coding, where you fully give in to the vibes, embrace exponentials, and I forget that the code even exists." I mean, it sounds incredibly carefree, doesn't it? The whole idea was you just type a few English sentences into a prompt, let the AI hallucinate an entire application, and then just throw it away over the weekend if it didn't work. It was fun, sure, it was fast, but frankly, it was completely unsustainable for building anything real. Fast forward exactly 1 year after that famous tweet, and well, the reality check hit hard. Throwing blind prompts at a large language model, that is dead. We've experienced this massive shift, transitioning away from the chaotic free-for-all of vibe coding straight into the strict reality of agent engineering. The default workflow for professionals now? It requires deep oversight, intense scrutiny, and active, hands-on management. So what exactly is agentic engineering? Well, you aren't just chatting with one AI anymore. You have your environment open, and you are literally orchestrating multiple AI coding agents. They're furiously typing away. You've got one on the back end, one writing your tests, another one doing the documentation. You are the one telling them, hey, build this, fix this. No, don't do that, do this instead. You are essentially acting as a strict puppet master. But here is the massive catch. To be a good puppet master, you actually need to know exactly what you're managing. Honestly, your engineering fundamentals are more critical now than they were before AI even existed. Now, what's really interesting about this is it brings us to a single glaring truth. You cannot manage what you do not understand. Period. Think about it. To correct an AI and tell it that it's wrong, you have to actually know what right looks like. You need to be able to spot exactly where the logic falls apart. You have to provide the correct context. Basically, you need this containment grid of knowledge to keep your AI agents strictly on track. Let's rapidly fire through what that containment grid actually requires. These are the fundamental pillars you absolutely must master, whether you're using Python for data and AI or JavaScript for the web. We're talking variables and types, if statements and loops, object-oriented programming, APIs, and critically, absolutely critically, testing. Why does all this matter? Because you need these basics just to be able to read the code the AI generates. All AI-generated code is based on human code written over decades. If you can't read it, you definitely can't manage it. Right, so once you can actually read the code, you have to conceptualize the big picture. This is your architecture containment grid. Step 1 is system design, which is really just choosing your tech stack. Step 2 is data flow, figuring out how information moves around and exactly what databases you're using. And step 3 is your deployment strategy. Look, if you want to build software that stores massive amounts of data with hundreds of people querying it all at once, you have to know which database is cheap, safe, and fast. You have to conceptualize the entire end product so you can properly direct and redirect those AI agents. And then we get to the nightmare scenario. We saw this happen constantly back in 2025. Vibe coders who didn't know the fundamentals just let the AI write, overwrite, and delete files until suddenly, boom, gone. They lost their entire code base because they had absolutely no tracking in place. Just a total disaster. That brings us to your ultimate safety net, version control, specifically Git and GitHub. Think of this as your industry standard undo button. When you're unleashing AI agents on your files, I promise you, they will inevitably make a mistake. They'll hallucinate some weird feature or accidentally delete a crucial function. Version control allows you to track the history, easily revert those AI mistakes, and completely save your project from digital destruction. It's an absolute must. So, the crucial point here is security and privacy. This is notoriously the absolute biggest blind spot for AI coding agents. Paranoia makes a good engineer, my friends. You literally cannot just blindly hope your AI is going to magically incorporate proper authentication or secure your user's data. It won't. You, sitting there as the human manager, have to be incredibly explicit in forcing the AI to incorporate these principles.
Which leads us to the ultimate precaution, containerization, or microservices. Okay, think of this like building a literal digital cage for a velociraptor in Jurassic Park. That's what you're doing. Containerization packages your application's code, its libraries, its dependencies, all into these isolated little environments. It completely prevents the code from interacting with your broader computer system. The reality of our current tech landscape is perfectly captured by this advice. If your AI agent does run amok, worst case scenario, just shut off that environment. I mean, it sounds totally absurd, right? But if an AI decides to just go crazy and write an infinite loop that threatens to crash your entire local machine, containerization ensures it only destroys its own tiny, isolated cage. You literally just flip the switch, delete the container, and start over. No harm done.
Now, okay, I know I've been a bit heavy on the warnings here, so let's drop the cynicism for a second, because it is a genuinely incredibly exciting time to learn. Pre-AI, it took years of university degrees to master this kind of architecture. Then we progressed to those 10 to 12-month full-time boot camps. But today, in 2026, with AI-assisted learning, you can compress this entire roadmap down to a fraction of the time.
6 months. That is the magic number. If you study full-time and actually utilize the right modern workflows, mastering these fundamentals is a highly achievable 6-month sprint. It is an absolute cheat code for your career. But, and this is a big but, that's provided you know exactly how to use the AI to teach you. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how you execute that sprint. You use the 2026 AI Learning Loop. Step 1, prime your brain. Dump your lectures, your readings, textbooks into a tool like Notebook LM to summarize everything and generate study questions. Step 2, when you inevitably hit a wall, paste the code into Claude Sonnet, which, by the way, is currently phenomenal for logic, and ask it for a line-by-line explanation. Step 3, immediately build and adapt projects. You do not learn to code by reading. You learn by doing.
Let's move to how this builds directly into your daily supercharged habits. Don't understand object-oriented programming? Just ask your AI for analogies. Need to expand your skills? Ask the AI for 3 different ways to implement the exact same feature. Hate reading dry, dense documentation from 2024? I don't blame you. Have the AI translate it into simple terms. And always take other people's open source projects, feed them to your AI, and just tweak them to see how the software reacts. We've moved incredibly fast today, but I want to leave you with this final, vital question. Are you the puppet master of your codebase, or are you just waiting for your AI to break out of its container? The era of blind trust and throwing random prompts into the void, that's over. True engineering has returned, and the fundamentals matter more than they ever have. Master the architecture, lock down your version control, build those containers, and take control of the AI. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, good luck out there in the code.